So with that being said, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy DeAnte, Break the Cipher Section. How you doing? And tonight we're going to cover indices like US 30, NAS 100, SPS 500. We're also going to cover gold and the dollar index. All right. Really quickly, for all you guys that's been showing up the last couple of months, how many of you were able to catch some pips this week on US 30, NAS 100, gold, SPS 500? How many people in here right now were able to catch some pips this week? Let me know in the comments. Drop some dollar signs, drop some numbers, let me know. I know Rhonda was eating, Coquina, Matt. That's what's up. A few people, Muhammad. All right, cool. So, let's see what we'll be able to catch this week, all right? First thing I'm going to start with is, I thought I had, news up. First thing, before we jump into everything, let's look at news, all right? So today's Wednesday. So for tomorrow, we got some GDP news, some CAD news. We also got USD news. And Friday, let me double check something. All right, and Friday, we have NFP, all right? So if you aren't familiar with NFP, it's a non-farmers payroll. Okay, this is something that usually gives the outlook of the overall U.S. economy, and it sets the tone for the rest of the week. It happens the first Friday of every month, and this is one of the biggest news days of the month, all right? So if you've never traded NFP, or you have like a really sketchy account, or you're just learning, Friday, just, take the day off, okay? Or don't trade until after 9:45, 10 o'clock, because you don't want to get caught in a bad position when NFP goes off or when the NFP happens, because it'll drop. I mean, it can move a lot of the currencies 100 to 150 pips, depending on how strong it is. Now, does it do that every month? No. Okay, sometimes there might be a weak NFP. But if we're over any of these projections, it could, or under by a lot, it could really throw off his trades, all right? So just be aware of that. 9:30 Friday, okay? So let's go ahead and look at the dollar index first. You guys know that we compare the dollar index, or we try to see what moves we could see on the dollar index, and then that will help us determine what we could see for the rest of the currencies that we're going to look at tonight, all right? So, if you guys recall, the last couple of weeks, I've been talking about this big drop, or this big drop coming, right? We've been preparing for it for at least a month after we had this nice bullish run. We've been waiting for it to drop, and this week, since Sunday, well, actually started last week, and this week it definitely finished out that drop. Well, we don't know if it's finished, but it kept on dropping so far this week, all right? So, with that being said, I'm going to look at this on the daily time frame. All right. Let me take off this DMS real quick. All right, all of this already played out. So now, I'm still going to keep that markup still there. My support resistance levels is still good, so I don't have to redo any of those. Looking at the market now, this is on the daily time frame. More than likely, what we could expect is for the dollar to start pulling back at some point, okay? The last 2 days, it's ended, or the last day, yesterday, it ended in a bullish push, but it wasn't really an engulfing candle or anything like that. So it still is not showing a lot of momentum to the top side. So we still want to be a little bit careful, all right? But we see that price fell down all the way down to another major resistance level. If we look back in the past, this level was once support, it was once resistance. Now it's been acting as support the last 6 months or so. Even though we did come down a little bit further here, this is still all within that support level, all right? So at some point, we want to see is after a big drop, a 50% retracement, right? Based off of our fib. So let's just see how far it fell down first to see if we're in an area that it could reverse. Can you guys see these purple levels here? Can you guys see this right here? Let me know in the chat. All right. So this first purple level is the 62 level. Some people use the 61.8. The last couple of months, I've just been rounding it up, and it's still been working well, okay? My second level is at the 0.705. My third level is at the 0.79. All right? Anytime price is in this level, when they retrace back to these three levels, I'm looking for a reversal, okay? I'm looking for a pullback, okay? So you see right now that this strong support level lines up with our kill zone levels for this to start potentially pulling back, all right? So my next thing I want to do is this. Now that I know that we're in these kill levels and that it could potentially pull back, and it's already started to kind of turn around a little bit, what I like to do is just go ahead and drop a fib on this too, going away from the drop, because it's already started to pull back, right? Now, I wouldn't have dropped this fib anytime the price was falling, because price never stopped to pull back up, okay? So we're gonna drop our fib here. Now, one thing I want you guys to understand is this. Basically, what we did here is that we're preparing our fib, all right? Because it could pull back far from this point. That doesn't mean that it absolutely will. Like, price will keep on falling, okay? If this doesn't pull back significant enough, price will keep on falling. And if it does, what we'll do is we'll wait until price starts to pull back again, then we'll move our fib down, all right? So I just want to let you guys know that this fib is not set in concrete. If it is broken past the 100% level here, if it's broken past that low, we'll just have to move our fib, okay? So with that being said, if this was the area that it is the pullback, I would expect it, I'll be looking for it to pull back at least up to the 38.2. Or up to 618, okay? Now, price to bounce off of these levels and always come back down. Let me change some things real quick. We can always bounce off these, reject off of these levels, and then come back down, all right? But we look for, after we have a breakout or an impulsive run, we look for price to pull back at least 50%. First step profit will be at the 38.2, okay? So the main thing to take away from this dollar is that we're looking for it to buy up, okay? That's the main thing we're taking away from it on the daily time frame. Now we go down to the forward time frame to see if we could see any clues of maybe it will pull back. One thing I do notice is this, that we had a nice gap here from Friday to Sunday, and prices has not closed that gap yet. So right now, the last couple of weeks, or the last month and a half, 2 months, No, probably like 3 months. With the coronavirus scare, this, how do I put this? These assets haven't really been operating the way that they usually do in the smooth moving market. Right now, the market is very emotional. Traders are very emotional. So they're going to do emotional um, um, things to move the market in unexpected ways, okay? So if this was a regular market, this gap here would give me some kind of a little bit more confidence in pullback because I would want that gap to close. But being that this has been falling, man, that's like 28 pips. That's about a pips for the dollar, right? So because we've just been falling, that's more than 28. But since it's just been falling like this, anything, like I said before the call started, could push this down further. Just keep that in mind, all right? So what I like to do from here, that we have our bias, I'm going to go ahead and throw our EMAs on here. Once again, I'm using the EMA 50, 200, 10, and 15, okay? So when price pulls away from the EMA 50, what do we know about price in the EMA 50 in relation to the EMA 50? Someone hop on the mic. Let me know. What do we know
It
about?
respects it.
There you go. It respects it, right? The EMA 50 is like a magnet. Okay? So we're price so far away from our bigger EMAs, I want to see this buy back up. Okay? And once we break above this fixing EMA, right here. Once we break above, let's say to this level right here. Like this. And then retest like that. And once we do the push off again, then we know that this may go all the way up to 618. Or that's the bottom of our trend line. Okay? To either test the 50 or break back above it. So if we're expecting the dollar to buy, looking at the 4-hour, we're expecting the dollar to buy. What will we be looking for on gold? For some of my bets. If we're expecting the dollar to buy, what will we be looking for on gold?
For it to go down.
A sale.
For gold to drop, right? So, because gold moves opposite of the dollar, okay? So let's check out gold. Actually, let me go ahead and drop this chart real quick. There we go. Oh, sorry. So this is the dollar on the 4-hour. So let's take a look at gold and see if we can find any evidence that it's going to fall or that it's been falling. I'm the trend gold all week, so give me a second. Check some of this stuff off for you. All right, let's look at this on the dollar index. Gold has just been crazy today. Well, it's been crazy all week, right? So the other week, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So a couple of weeks ago, we started this inverted edge to show this development on gold, and we knew it was going to buy up, right? So that inverted edge showed this played out nicely. There were a couple of points that we thought was going to turn around, but gold has just been going ham, right? So let's see if we can find a couple more support levels in here. Actually, let's just do this. What we got? All right. So let's do this for the daily time frame. Let's just go ahead and drop a fib on this. And the way I drop my fibs, guys, I like to drop my fibs starting from the breakout. So there's actually two areas we could go from. All right. So down here, as you see, it's just consolidated down here. And this candle right here, this candle right here is what actually started the breakout, okay? It was this, actually, we could actually just say this candle. It was this leg that broke all of the previous highs, right? It broke all those previous highs. So this is where I'm gonna drop my fib. To go to the top. Boom. Okay? So from here, I'm just gonna go ahead, I'm gonna drop some support levels, right? And the way I like to do it, to make it super simple, especially with something like this, I just drop a support level on every flip level. These are natural support resistance levels, right? If I were to go back, we'll see that every one of these levels down here have been respected, right? So even up to here. So these are valid support resistance levels. Then I'm going to change the colors of these. If I can find it, one second. Oh, here we go. I'm going to change it to purple. You could do red, any color you want. It doesn't matter. I'm just staying consistent with my fib, okay? I'm off from purple. So I'm basically waiting for price to come down here to take the buy back up, right? Then we could go ahead and mark out the trend. Oh man, hold on. All right. We can mark out the trend here. And we could say that as long as price stays above, the trend line, then you'll be looking for buys, right? But if we go back to the dollar index on the daily, that's the daily right there, all right? And it looks like we said earlier, it's going to buy up, right? So looking at gold, this might only buy up just a little bit and then fall some more, okay? But like keep in mind, like I said earlier, that these charts haven't been moving the way they usually do. So for the time being, just what's what I'm looking for? Trade what the market gives you, right? So for the long-term traders, if you're a long-term trader, you just have to wait to after gold falls and comes back down, see if it retests this level. And then look for the buy up if it rejects off of this level. Okay? If it rejects. Now that follows what we saw on gold, right? So a lot of people when they're looking at the charts or they're looking at the market, I mean, it said, I'm supposed to go with the trend, right? Go with the trend. We hear that all the time. Go with the trend. Go with the trend. So when you mark up a chart in the 4 hour, if you're a scalper, does that mean that you have to wait for this thing to fall to take the trades? No. When we say go with the trend, it depends on what time frame that you are marking up or that you're trading off of, right? So it's nice as a scalper to know, we can go with the wick on this one, to know where the overall market is, so then you could take the scalps in relation to the market. So expecting it to sell, we see how far away it is from the 50 EMA, okay? So now let's just drop down. I'm gonna drop this 4 hour. This is the daily. I'm gonna drop this daily. And then we'll go down lower. I'm gonna show you guys how to break this down on this chart from doing the top-down analysis, okay? So daily, all of my swing traders really wait for it to come back down and then take the buy up, right? 4 hour. 4 hour is still a strong uptrend, right? So even if you're working off of the 4 hour, you could wait for it to come back down and see if it rejects off of this level or this level, right? Whenever price comes down to the 50, see what it does. Does it reject or does it keep on pushing down? But the EMAs, I often tell people, at least put the 50 EMA on the chart so you can identify the overall trend. And so you know if price is above the 50 and the 200, or if price is above the 200 and the 50 is above the 200, you're only looking for buys. If it's flipped vice versa, you're going to look for sells. So in this instance, what kind of trade are we looking for? If you're trading off of the 4 hour, that means maybe you're a swing trader. You don't mind holding a trade 2 or 3 days. What setup would you be looking for, the sell or the buy? Who can tell me? The buy, yeah, the buy. All right. So, like I said, that's not to say that it could, whenever it comes down to the 50, it could push back up. And then decide to sell. If it comes down here, push back up. Okay? So let me do this. Let me do this the opposite way. Let's say here. That could be your first take profit. You have a breakout, a retest, and push back up. Okay? And then the possible sell down like that. Okay? So looking at this chart right here, we see that it broke out, price broke out down here, right at the 38, right? After a breakout, once a retest, now retest the 50 and the 38 level, that's a strong support level, and then it could possibly push off and push back up to the top. Now, looking at the chart, do you guys see anything else that may support? You might not be able to see it well on the 4-hour, it might have to go down, but do you guys see anything on this chart that may support a buy? Give me 1 second. Any kind of market formation or anything like that? Do you guys see anything that may be developing? Sorry, someone said double bottom. Falling wedge. JL, if you see, you talking about this double bottom down here? Saw that. Falling wedge right here.
Yeah, but I guess it's over. I guess it already happened.
Yeah. So, look at the bigger picture. Falling wedge is not wrong. There is a falling wedge here.
Inverted head and shoulders.
Yes. And y'all know that's my favorite. Right? You might be able to see it better on the 1 hour, let's say. Kind of. I like this 1 hour though, so we're gonna work off of this. So if you guys didn't see on the 4 hour, let me just go back to that real quick. Here's the inverted head and shoulders right here. And we know an inverted head and shoulders is a buy formation. No, inverted formation is a buy formation. Now you guys see it, right? So on this 4 hour, we got the inverted head and shoulders. That's showing the buy. We're in a bipoma, perfect order of moving averages. Basically, that means we have the smallest or the biggest to smallest EMAs stacked on top of each other. EMA 200, EMA 50, 10, and 15. That's a strong buy. 2 confirmations for the buy. Third confirmation, we have a falling wedge here. With a falling wedge. That is a buy formation. To break out the top, retest, and then push, right? No on gold, it could just push. Is that number 3 or 4? I can't remember. Fourth confirmation that this could potentially buy up. Now, right now, all we're doing is this is stacking confirmation, guys. We're making an argument of why we would take a buy, right? So fourth or fifth one, I can't remember which one we're on. We're retesting an EMA, right? We're retesting the 10th EMA. On a smaller time frame, that might not mean nothing. On the bigger time frame, like the 4 hour or the daily, that could mean everything. Okay? That could mean everything. Look over here. Look on this side. See how many times the price came down and retested the 10 to 15? Boom. And then bought back up. Boom. Boom. Every pullback was an entry. Right? The same thing can happen over here. Come down for, this is just a retest, then it'll push back up. Boom. Another one. And so on and so forth. Okay? So we got 5 confirmations right there alone, not to mention we're also at a fib level. All right? Now, I have a question here. How do you know when it's about time to come out of a buy, Poma, and into a sell? All right, save that question. I got you. So that's all just on the 4 hour, right? Let's go down to the 1 hour. Now, let me just emphasize, we have our overall bias of the potential buy from what the charts will show us, right? We know eventually it's going to sell down, or we want it to sell down. But right now, the charts are showing us a buy. And so that's what we have to trade. Okay? We trade what it shows us. All right? So, we went down to the 1 hour. Now, looking a little bit closer to where current price is now, that flag was a lot more apparent, right? It's a lot more clear. Entry off of this flag can be once it breaks above or two smaller EMAs. And then you could do take profit here at the top of your trend, at the top of your channel, I'm sorry. Once it breaks out, you got another take profit here, take profit 2. And then you have another take profit up here. 3 take profits right there, right? This here, that's 42 pips. There's 99 pips. That's 160 pips. Now, do you need 160 pips? Do we need that? Who's gonna tell me? Do we need 160 pips?
Nope.
Heck no, we don't. To be a full-time trader, all you need to know how to do is catch 10 pips consistently. So if we know that this is a possible 160 pips, and if you're a scalper, you know how far up you could scalp. You could take profit at 10, 15, 20 pips, wait for a retest, and so then take profit to another 10, 15 pips all the way up. Okay? Now to go back to your question of how do you know when it's about time to come out of a buy coma, is when you hit the previous highs. That's how you know. That's one way. Take profit. Wait for the breakout. Come back down to recess. Second entry. Boom. Take profit 2. Wait for the break. Take profit 2. Recess. Third entry. Boom. By that time, you could trail the stop loss if you want. And just stay in the trade, ride it all the way up, and take price for profit while you're riding up. Okay? Now, looking on this 1 hour time frame, let me delete some of this stuff. Hold on. Looking on this 1 hour time frame, my bad, guys. Give me a second. I'm all jacked up right now. All right. Looking at this 1 hour time frame, let's start stacking confirmations on why we could possibly see a buy on this. Where we didn't know from the 4 hour, we have all those confirmations, right? But it's on 1 hour rounding up about 4 hours. What kind of confirmation could be off of this? Possibly double bottom. That's one. We're retesting our EMA 200. That's 2. Once the price breaks out and retest, then we'll have our buy confirmation right there. Now, does that mean we can't jump in right now? It depends on what kind of trader you are. Personally, I wouldn't jump in until price broke back above this resistance level. Because remember, that's off of our fib, right? That's off of our fib. So that's a pretty strong resistance level. This area right here, this whole area while we're inside this formation is not the safest. okay? Unless it's scalping. But even if it's scalping, you need to be aware that you got a couple of resistance levels here that could possibly turn the scalp a bad way. So I did not want. Did I want to do that? Yeah. So I think I'm going to drop this 4 hour. I want to make sure it's clear. I need to do this. All right. And then the next take profit could be all the way up. All the way up. All right? Still following the same overall bias. Okay? Now, with all this being said, if you notice, our third take profit is right at the overall neckline of this inverted head and shoulders, right? Because when you trade the inverted head and shoulders, let's just say something like that. When you trade the inverted head and shoulders, you don't want to take that inverted head and shoulders until after it breaks the neckline, right? So you gotta wait for it to do this. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this, but I'd like to spend the most time on my first couple of charts because the next ones will just go fly through. Okay. We want to wait until after it breaks this neckline overall to take this big buy right here, right? And the neckline for this is right around here. All right? The overall neckline, the inverted head and shoulders, is right there. So that's why we're taking that take profit early, 160 pips, right? Because we don't want to get caught in it coming up here and then rejecting that down. And once it breaks it. If it breaks it, because remember, the dollar's buying. And your entry is going to be right here, off of the retest. And that could be a possible 256 pips, all right? Does this chart make sense for you guys? So when you're off by yourself and you come back and look at it, you think that you'll be able to look at this chart and know where to enter? That's the one out. Just want to make sure you guys are there. We just have this one take profit here. Okay? Now, with that being said, can this formation fail? Can it fail? These formations are just high probable. They're not definite, right? Which means that sometimes they can fail. For this particular setup, that's why we wait for the breakout to enter, right? Because if it continues to sell, are we going to be looking for the buy up? No. If this continues back down and this EMA has come all the way down, back past the EMA 200 and our 50, now we're back in the seller's market, right? So we only want to trade what the chart gives us. Only want to trade what the chart, but not gives us, but shows us, okay? So I'm going to drop down now on the 1 hour. Since we're just not on the 1 hour, remember I'm showing you guys how to break down this chart from top down, which means I'm not going to be doing it on every chart, right? So now that we have it broken down in 1 hour and we still see the buy, right? We're still in the buyer's market. Now for my scalpers. This 1 hour is like the intraday setup, okay? Now for my scalpers, all you have to do, I'm sorry, I should have did this along the way. 1 second. For my scalpers, jump down to 15 minute. Am I missing the EMA? No, okay, I see him. All right, drop down to 15 minute, guys. Check it out. The 50 is above the 200. This yellow line is the 200. The 50 is above the 200. We got a nice pullback to the 15-minute 50. We're still in buy POMA, so we're only looking for the buys, right? Only looking for the buys. How do we know when to buy on this? We got a nice little ugly double bottom here. Price is starting to fall down. Starting to fall now, right? This could be a retest to this level, and then it could buy right from here. It could buy from right from here, but more than likely, it probably right from here. Okay. Now, once price breaks this 50 and comes all the way down here, you just want to wait. You don't have to take the sell down. You don't have to take every move. I know our scalpers want to jump in and out, 10 pips up, 10 pips down, blah, blah, blah. Guys, when you're working on gold in these smaller pairs, you don't want to take all those moves, right? I would hate for you to be in buy POMA and take the sell because you saw it at the top of the channel, and then price turns around on you after, 10 pips and goes the other way, right? So be disciplined, like Coquina said, okay? If the market is showing you buy POMA, buyer's market, only take the buys. Yes, you're gonna have to wait till the market pulls down to buy up, right? Here, to buy up, okay? You gotta have patience, all right? So, with that being said, can the market come down here? Yes, it can. At any rate, still gonna wait for it to reject and buy out, right? This is playing it safe, okay? If price fell all the way down, the next level of resistance is at the EMA 200. As long as the EMA 50 is above the EMA 200, they're looking for buy setups, all right? And you execute the buy once the price breaks above the 10 to 15. Okay? Look over here. Our price is falling. After it broke below 10, 15, it never really broke back above it. Right? It never really broke back above it. So if you really took a buy on this, you could have got caught. in the pullback, and then the drawdown. This looks like a little. That's 63 pips right there. That's 63 pips. You might be saying, oh, I only trade with 0.01 lot sizes, so it's not that much. I don't care how much you trade with right now. You should always be training to be a full-time trader and trade like a full-time trader, right? So you want to try to work on your entries. Make sure you're not holding a lot of drawdown, because it might not be a lot of drawdown at 0.01, but I tell you what, it's a big hit of drawdown when they're dropping the standard. That's $630, right? And it's not going to take long for you guys to drop standard. So be patient. Go with the trend. I'm going to drop this. All right. So now that we went to extreme detail on gold, we're definitely not going to do that for US 30 and all the rest. Is now you guys should be somewhat up to speed. If you're still confused and you're new, it's cool. You're supposed to be confused. Forex is like learning a whole new language, all right? So you have to dedicate your time and dedicate yourself and show up to this cause. The more time you see it, then the faster you'll catch on, all right? So this is gold. We're expecting it short term to buy up, long term after the buy is complete. If it does play out, we're gonna look for the sell. Okay. So US 30. If we're looking for gold to buy, US 30 usually in regular circumstances would be selling, right? And if US 30 is selling, NAS 100 and SPX 100 is going to follow suit. So let me go ahead and toss these off. And let's look at NAS 100 first. I've been trading this all week too. So let me remove some of this stuff here. We're only gonna look at this probably. We'll look at it from here. Maybe the 4 hour. Let's check out the 4 hour. See how it looks. All right. So I'm gonna mark this up really quick. Off of the 4 hour. So you guys to see the process. Drop our support resistance, right? On kill zone levels. Complete the spread. Next step we want to do is we want to drop our trend lines. Same stuff. Doesn't matter. That's the counter trend line. Now we got a channel. I'm just going to spin that channel out. All right, cool. So here we go, guys. This is fast to come up. Boom. All right, off of the 4 hour. NOS 100. Right now, we see that we got a double bottom to our counter trend line, right? A double bottom to our counter trend line. And this is just above the 38. So we haven't really hit the 618 yet. So for NOS 100, all we're going to be looking for is we can see a possible double top here. So this could come down here. It could break it, possibly. In the retest. And then down. Right? That's one outcome. But we're expecting, what do we say about gold? Going up? All right, cool. So if gold does go up, then this is the most likely outcome to happen for NOS 100 to fall. Okay? Now, if NOS 100 breaks above this trend line, then we can look for it to go up to our kill zones and then drop. All right? So the main thing is we want to trade what the market gives us. All right? If we're looking for a potential sell on this, let's drop our EMAs to see if they line up with our buyers. Now, like we said about price, it doesn't matter what you're trading, it always wants to come back to the 50 EMA, right? Look where our counter trend line almost lines up with our 50 EMA. Once our 50 crossed over our 200 over here, that signified the seller's market. Okay? That signifies seller's market. So if anything, if price does push up, it'll probably only end up pushing up to here. And then we'll get rejection back down. Does that make sense? Or why we would be looking for that? Everyone? Drop a number, drop whatever, drop some dollar signs if that makes sense. Okay? So price probably only pulled back, probably just above the 50% level, which is another kill zone area. I just don't follow it because I like it to really pull back high enough. So my probabilities of the price reversing at that point is higher. Okay, the higher the pullback, then the probability of it falling or buying up is higher. Okay, so with that being said, let me drop this. Let me delete this first. All right. We're going to go down. NOS 100 is 4. We're going to go down to the 1 hour. This is just purely off of technicals, guys. All right? Look at this 1 hour. Now, I would have more confidence in this sell. Wait, let me rephrase that. I have more confidence in this sell for a couple of reasons looking at this 4 hour. Number one, look how strong our EMA 200 is angled down. Look how strong it is, how spread apart they were. That signified a huge impulse of bearish movement, right? On the 1 hour, our 50 EMA is still below our 200. Now, even though price pulled above our EMA 200, our 50 is still below it. And we know price, the 50 is like a magnet for price, number one. Number two, anytime the 50 is still hanging out below or above the EMA 200 and price moves away from it, in my mind, I'm expecting it to pull back into an overall movement of that direction. This is what I mean. If the EMA 50 is below the 200 and price pulled away from it the way it did, I'm expecting this to come all the way back down. I'm expecting this to pull back down into a seller's market as long as this EMA is hanging out above it. If it was flipped and this EMA was above it, was above the EMA 200, if the EMA 50 right here was above 200, then I would be looking for it to buy up higher. Okay? But in this instance, I'm looking for this sell to play out. All right? Now, the safest way to trade this is after the 10 and 15 cross back below the EMA 50. Like this. We have this coming down. Can you guys see that? He's marking up, drawing these lines on here. And then this orange one will be like this. Boom. Once that bad boy crosses, like that, it's go time. Take the sell back down to the next support level. Boom. Right here. All right, once it breaks, here, let me do this. Just like that. Sound good? Entry could be on the pullback, or you could ride that thing all the way down. Okay? Last 100, 1 hour. And let's just look at the 15-minute now. All right? For you guys to scalp in them. Whatever you like to do. 15-minute doesn't quite, oh, what's going on here? The 15-minute doesn't line up yet, does it? It doesn't line up yet. Here is a quick tip for all your trades, no matter if you're doing Forex or whatever, or indices or whatever you're trading. If you have a bias on a higher time frame, like we have a sell bias, the safest bet, if you're scalping, is to wait until your 15-minute is showing a sell bias. Right now, this is showing a buy bias. Right? Right now, this is showing a buy bias. So if you understand a couple of things here, this doesn't mean you can't take the buy. All right, let me remove this. Because this is for a different kind of trader. This is for you, the scalpers out there. All right. So it doesn't mean you can't take the buy up. As long as you understand it may be short-lived. Okay? And this is still a lot of pips in here. That's a lot of pips. The trading view test is right. This says 191 pips. Let me look at that one more time. Oh, yeah, 191. I'm pretty sure it's more than that. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's more than that. But let's just say that's still a lot of pips. It doesn't matter, right? So if this 15-minute, if it's scalping, if this 15-minute is showing you a buy Poma, like it is right now, when price comes down, if it starts to reject back up, take the buy. Right? Just understand, know where your levels are. Know where your overall levels are of where it could reject back off. Or it could go back the other way. But if price did fall all the way down here for my scalpers, isn't that just a retest? Why is it going? Why this is? It then changed on me. Oh, I picked the wrong one. Hold on. Isn't this the retest? You had the breakout? Oh, coming down for a retest, right? And this retest will line up with the EMA 50. Check the buy back up. Tip up at 1. Tip up at 2. And look for it to start to break down again. The way these indices are, we could trade inside these zones all day. Right? We could trade inside these zones all day. Because there's so many pips. There's so many pips. So to just trade what the chart shows you, as long as you know that overall, hey, you are right at the resistance level, you're good. As long as you're aware. But once this thing turns into a buy in the 15-minute, oh, it's go time, baby. It is go time. I'm sorry, once it turns into a sell. Once that 50 EMA comes back down below the 200, it's go time. Now we got the overall sell that we charted up on a higher time frame. You feel me? We need to drop some more trend lines in there. Under the intermediate trend line. Let's see how make that black. I'm not really going to drop one at the bottom because the EMAs are right there. So that could be my channel. You feel me? Alright. Alright, so does this chart make sense to you guys? Are we good? Any questions about this? Good. Drop some dollar signs if it's good. Alright, cool. Cornelius is good. Joseph is good. Alright. You guys excited? Hope you are. Because these charts are going to be feeding everyone. Okay? Last 150 minutes. All right. So overall, we saw that last 100 on the 4 hours will definitely probably see a potential sell happening, okay? As well as in the 1 hour, and then the 15-minute was showing the buy for the time being, right? So now let's look at US 30. If I can find it. Here we go. All right, so US 30, I pretty much already have it marked up. I'm not going to go ahead, I'm not going to drop the support resistance levels. We have it right here on the fib. I can actually move this up now. Right there. We'll just go here. All right. But I want to look at it on the high time frames just to see where we are. That's the 4 hour right here. Okay. 1 second. All right, yeah, that's the 15-minute. Cool. So on the 4 hour overall for the US 30, put this up there, connect these two right here, go all the way through. Get all these. I'm not going to worry about them, but we move a couple of these out of the way. Alright. So US 30, we could possibly see a pull up all the way up to the top of our trend line or the EMA 50 on this. If I was to drop a fib, let's just say, this was the candle right here. So on the 4 hour for the US 30, we're going to get a pullback first. This is what I'm seeing. Pullback like on NAS. Now this is small, but that's a lot. We could possibly see this, buy back up. And then a breakdown. Okay? Possibly. Let's just say just back down to here. Just for example. Okay? Just for the time being. Because I don't like to go too many steps ahead of US 30 because anything can happen, right? So if this fib actually looks, these levels look good on this fib, because that 618, by the time price buys up to this level, this 50 EMA may line up with this level. And if it does, we'll expect rejection off of that 4 hour 200 EMA. All right? Now that's the overall move that could possibly happen. It looks a little bit different from NAS 100, right? A little bit different, but it's still the overall movement. Just because US 30 buys up, let's say 4,000 pips, NAS 100 may only go up. I mean, if US 30 goes up, let's say 3,000 pips, then NAS 100 might only go up 900, right? So the distance may look kind of awkward, but it's the same as that thing as what we saw on NAS 100, isn't it? All right? Except for if I was to drop a counter trend line. It'll probably something like that. Okay? Probably something like that. I'll look for the breakdown, come up, let's say, like this. Boom, boom. Just like that. And that's overall, guys. All right, overall. We want to stick to the bigger move for the swing traders will be to wait for it to pull up and take the bottom. I mean, take the sell down, right? I don't know if a lot of you do swing trade this, so I'm just going to drop it just in case you guys want to experiment, demo it. US 30 H4. So let's drop down to the 1 hour. All right. So I took a buy off of this earlier. My fib is, this fib is still good. All right, cool. So looking at the 1 hour, we see that we're not in sell Poma, but we are in a seller's market on the 1 hour. All right. So if it doesn't break above this trend line here, we definitely still be waiting for all sells, right? All sells. Like kind of now, if you're a little bit risky. But this could pull all the way back to the 50 and then push back up and buy some more, right? So we're seeing a little bit of some hints that price could fall or fell here. If it did fall down here, while I was buying up, I'll be paying attention to what happens at this level here. Okay, I'll be paying attention to that. But if you look at it, this almost, it did create an inverted head and shoulders there, right? We took this buy here. Well, never mind. I took that buy there. I scalped it up off the inverted head and shoulders. Now it can come back for a retest, and then we just see what happens. So if it breaks back down here, just pay attention to what happens in this red zone at around 26773.3. Because even though we had an inverted head and shoulders here, what you'll notice is one pattern will lead into another pattern. Let me just do this. Let me drop this first. Let me drop this. It still looks exactly the same, so I don't know why. I don't think I have to drop it. One thing, so a couple of things. One pattern will lead to another pattern. So possible. That's not really that strong. Never mind. That's not strong enough for me. Right here, if you guys remember our EMA 50, this buy may more than likely happen up. Because remember what we say about EMA 50, once it starts to curve under price, like it did here on the right shoulder, usually it'll keep on pushing price up. So it'll look like this. Sometimes they'll keep on pushing price up like that. And all you'll see is it comes down to the EMA and then break off to the top. You know what I mean? So this overall, the overall sell that we've been saying before, just gonna wait for it to, as always, break down below the 50. Okay? Break down below the 50. Now my scalpers, let's look at the 15 minute. There we go. On the 15 minute. For my scalpers, wait for it to come down. If it rejects, buy it back up. You know? If it breaks down below it, I got a whole bunch of arrows on it. If it breaks down below it, pull back up, see what happens. It might get up to here, and then I sell back down. Right? So for the time being now, when you see it start to push back off the 50, very simple, buy. If it breaks it, very simple, sell. Right? Keep it simple, guys. Don't overthink this stuff, man. Don't overthink it. Okay? Is there any questions about anything I just not said? Does everyone understand when I say trade what the market shows you, when it shows you? Okay? The other thing is, look, we're still making higher highs. Definition of an upsell is higher high. I mean, upsell. Of a uptrend is a higher high. So don't start selling until you start really making lower lows. And don't confuse your lower lows with just a pullback. That's why we start this up. Right? To me, a lower low will not matter until I'm in the seller's market. Until, what color is this? All right. Until this 50 is down like this, my 200 is over it. And I got this going on. So my EMAs look like that. I'm not worried about no sell. I'm looking for all buys. Okay? And in this area, I'm paying attention to the market, all in this area, but I'm not taking the sell until I break out of my trend line. Come back up for retest, and then boom. You guys make sense? Hope my expression wasn't too ugly. Is there any questions about that at all?
Okay, so you were saying to just wait for the buy?
Yeah. Wait till it pulls down here. Pulls down to the 50. And then see if it starts to reject. Okay? Now if it breaks all this, just wait to see how it all plays out. Until you have a clear indication of is it going to keep on falling or not. Okay? Now keep in mind this is NAS 100. Oh, I'm sorry, US 30. So you might not get a retest. And this whole move can happen at once. And then it could shoot right back up in the same day.
So you could, so if we're gonna sell, we'd have to do scalping sales.
Yeah, I would scalp it. Most of you guys are scalping anyway, right? Taking 100 pips, 1,000 pips at a time. Scalping off the 15-minute chart. Is that a question or is that what you do? Just scalp off the 15-minute? Personally, I like to scalp off the 5-minute. I don't mind scalping off the 5-minute. Okay. That's why I got my EMAs set up the way I do, that with the 10 to 15. Because on the 5-minute, I know if I got this cross right here, the price is still respecting that 50 on the 5-minute, I'm going to keep on buying. Once I got that cross on the 5-minute, right now, I'm in the buyer's market. Okay, once it crosses. So once I get that break, let me show you. Once I get price to break above my 10 to 15, buy. Price came down, started going bullish again. Once it breaks this level, buy. Here there's a little bit of a scare right there. But once it breaks back above 10 to 15, the next bullish candle, buy. Buy. Okay? Another thing I do, that this will help you guys out. I usually don't give all this away on these calls, but since you guys are here, let me show you something. I don't mind. Enough money for everyone, right? Throw my stochastic on here. See if I can get to the settings. All right, is that 1433? That's perfect for me. Check this out. If the 5-minute, this is, hey, if you guys pay attention to this, you better make a lot of money. You better make a lot of money. All right, check this out. If the 5-minute is in the buy POMA, like it is here, and it comes down to one of your EMAs, hold on, let me show you guys this. Comes down to one of your EMAs. God dang it. The anticipation is building, right? All right, comes down to one of your EMAs on the 5-minute. If it's stochastic is oversold and you're looking for a buy, and price comes down to the EMA, stochastic is oversold, wait until you get that stochastic cross. Hold on, I'm jacked it up. Wait until you get that stochastic cross going up and take the buy. Go for however many pips you want to go for, right? Well, you can just hold it if you think it's to keep on going up. But every time, if you're in the bipoma, every time price comes back down, and you're looking on the 5 minute, this is specifically for the 5 minute, wait for that stochastic to stack across back up, take the buy. Okay? Take the buy. Now, sometimes you get to be a little bit eager when you see price coming down here, and you see the stochastic is falling. Sometimes you'll feel a little bit eager to jump in that thing. Yeah, I'll explain stochastic cross. You can look at it and tell though. Sometimes you'll be a little bit eager to jump in that thing, right? Wait for it to bottom out and actually flip. Okay? Actually flip. Execute the buy up. Oh my God. Guys, let me tell you something. Now, some of you are going to want to jump the gun and take the pullback. I want to let you know that's really risky. Okay, only go for the buys. It's the 5 minutes. This thing moves pretty fast, right? Let me show you a couple more examples. Look here. Price came down to the 200 3 times on the 5 minute. But the EMA 50 is still way up here. What do they say about that? It doesn't want to come back. Look at the stochastic on the 5 minute. Once it starts to cross up, take the buy back up. Okay? It also works on gold too. Also works on gold. I've been testing both on gold. I've been using both on gold. That's how I was able to flip a $174 account to over $2,000 since Sunday. Just by following these simple rules, guys. Simple rules. Okay? Now, let's see what price is at now. Alright. Oh, stochastic cross. Before I move on. Alright, this is the last thing I'm gonna cover, so I can let you guys go. I wasn't thinking I was gonna be too deep in it, but so stochastic cross. I want you guys to get in the habit, whatever tools you're using, whatever EMAs or whatever, I don't care. I want you to get in the habit of studying your chart without actual trading. Look at how price moves in relation to the tools. And you'll find more confirmations that you could personally use for your own trading style, right? So, stochastic cross is simple. If we look at it, okay, if we look at it, we can see that once on this particular stochastic, when the red line, can you guys see that? When the red line crosses over the blue line, just like the CDI, guys, when the red line crosses over the blue line, prices is starting to fall. Right? When red line's on top of the blue, price is falling. When the blue line's on top, price is usually what? Buying. The cross is this red and blue cross. That's the trigger. Right? But only if you're going with the trend. only if you're going with the trend. So buy Poma, buy buyer's market, I'm only looking for the buys. I'm only looking for the stochastic to come down and cross back up. Come down, cross back up. Okay? Does that make sense? Any questions about that? Can I rewind my chart to point as an example? Let me show you. Let's start from here. All right. So up here, we're going to study a bought up. We have a buy Poma. Okay? I'm waiting for it to pull back. I missed it. I went too fast. Right here. You see our price pull back? Small pullback. Look at your stochastic. See your stochastic is bottomed out. Let me go back. I want to see. I went too fast. Yeah. Price is playing. You see it start to pull back under the 10 to 50. Boom. Once it starts to cross back up, right, and it breaks above 10 to 50, you could wait for one more candle if you like. Right there, you can enter. Probably took profit down there. That's, I don't know how many pips that is. How many pips is that? It's 117 pips. I don't know how to count pips on TradingView for this particular pair. Going up, you're still waiting. You're probably still in that trade. Okay? Once it comes back down, still getting close to the EMA. Look at the stochastic. Stochastic is oversold. They're probably about to start buying some. Stochastic cross. You could buy early if you like. I usually do. Or you could wait right there. See how we broke above 10 to 15? You can enter there. Take profit could be at the next high. Or however many pips we're going to go for. Holding the drawdown. Take profit was hit right there. Wick. But now we're coming back down again. Stochastic. Look at stochastic. It's the last example. You might have to play with it to get your eyes used to it because it does move fast. Got the cross. You could buy right there. And you can wait for it to pull back up. All right. This is a more aggressive entry down here. Once you got that impulsive candle, you can wait for the next one, but you can enter on that one. Take profit will be up here. First take profit. Hit right there in 15 seconds. 15 minutes. That's 100 pips. Everyone good? Does that make sense now? Keep on buying up. Every time it comes down, guys. Right here, see how it came back down here? But look at this stochastic. It's not oversold. I went and took that. I want my, I'll sit here and wait for my stochastic to fall. All the way down where I want it. We must be close to where we to today. Take profit hit right there. That combine that. All right. Now, right now, you see how stochastic was kind of in the middle, and it's actually at the EMA on price. I wouldn't take that. I'll stay away from that. Right? I want my stochastic, follow your rules. Have this stochastic oversold, right? So if we missed it over here, but you see, it kind of just now happened right here. So you could use their own judgment for me. But this is Asia sessions. I don't trade for Asia sessions. But for me, I follow my rules, baby. If I'm not oversold, I'm not jumping in. You feel me? For a buy. Okay? So a little bit extra tonight, you guys. Got a little bit of a strategy there that works well. Okay? Just use it on the 5 minute, do your thing. I don't like to use it any higher than on the 5 minute on US 30 because it moves so many pips. Okay? But it's been working wonders on the 5 minute time frame. So did I drop that 15-minute chart? I don't know if I marked it up, did I? No. All right. Cool. So is there any questions about this stuff, guys? Anyone have anything for me? That all that makes sense? Everyone good? Drop a couple dollar signs if you're good. I'm about to let y'all go. Dollar. No one's good? Oh, I got some lag. My bad.
I have a question.
All right, cool. Go ahead.
Can you also determine where trend line is going on the daily?
Yeah, but on US 30, I mean, yeah, we can look at it.
Because I was seeing that it was like retesting off like those exact trend lines.
Yep, I see it.
And I was predicting for it to do higher highs, higher highs, higher lows.
Yeah, but do you actually trade US 30 on the daily time frame?
No, I use daily to predict. I mean to see the trend.
Okay.
And I use the MACD and RSI.
All right, cool. So those also operate like the stochastic too. So if that's what you're looking for your overall analysis, I mean, definitely you could buy up just a little bit more and then reject off that EMA or that top trend line. You know what I mean? But even on this daily, I mean, I think that price is still US 30. Let me make this smaller, dude. I think that US 30 is going to buy up because then if you look at the daily, the EMA 50, where's that at? There it is. The EMA 50 is still above 200, and our 15 EMA is actually starting to curve, and the 10 EMA is starting to curve, you know? So it could really buy up a little bit higher and test the 200 on the daily, and that will line up with our fib levels also, you know? So you can take all that into consideration, you know, whatever your style is, feel me?
Got it. Appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. Any other questions before I let you guys go? No? Cool. Cool. But thanks for hopping on with me, guys. These charts will be spread everywhere. I'm going to try to get this replay up. I'm going to try to get this replay up as soon as possible. There'll be inside the members back there, like I said, Facebook groups, all that good stuff. My YouTube channel, which I already dropped in the chart. So I'm letting you guys go. As always, it's your boy DeAnte, DeAnte Section, and I'll see you on the next webinar.